All right, we're back under the traffic lights. Our special guest, Brian Larson. Hour and a half till game time, so that means we're going to do about 3 hours worth of show here. We're taping this. God damn, we still got about a little over a week yet till Tourney, so God bless Livex for giving me time to get this rolling. We got D5. We're hoping to roll tomorrow, right, Cocoa Beans? With our special guest?
Yes.
Yes.
6
All right.
o'clock sharp.
6 o'clock sharp. When we have the guest, not when we.
That's true, not
Actually,
sharp.
Yeah.
Ish.
The people aren't sharp, or the clock.
Well.
So you're doing D5 tomorrow?
Yeah.
We got a special guest.
Guests.
Oh, they're special.
It's gonna
They're
be a
special.
riot. Interesting.
They're special. So,
How am I
anyways,
gonna fit 4 of you in there?
you won't.
You can just lay across their lap.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're wanting.
I can see it.
Bring a little strap on over.
Oh, I messaged him between the
Oh,
I
did
messaged him between the 3 and 4, and I'm like, I said the strap on, and he said
Yeah.
strokes right away, and I about died.
How do you decide who's even on line 1 in your D3 team? Is it? I mean, to me, I was telling other guys, it's like a line 1 and a line 1A. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of set it up with me setting the team up. I just kind of put me and Wyatt there, and then
Yeah.
with Finch and Stropes, us 4 kind of started it. That was kind of line 1, line 2,
Right.
And then the other group that we brought in was just going to be line 3. But yeah, like you said, I mean, we could start it
Yeah.
really however. I mean,
Right.
I'm not even with Mickelwright and I'll be back there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right.
They'll be rotating quite a bit, and
Sure.
if they need a break, we'll throw someone back there. Obviously a long weekend, and I know
Yeah.
Mickelwright's reffing, and I think Albie's working it too. So
Yeah. Sure.
he's gonna have some long days in there. So we might need to get him a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, I figured we could throw a few softballs like we did to Perry, get to know you a little better.
That was creepy.
Yes, it was. I guess, man, you better tell me about your basketball career, man. He's PV. I looked up, you were second career assists and points. Is that still true to this day?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think John Lindstrom came in a few years after me, and I think actually broke the school record. And then a few years after him, I can't think of his name. I coached him when he was in like 6th grade, which makes me feel really old.
Oh my gosh.
But I want to say his name was Michael, but
Okay.
But yeah, he went on to play at like Western Illinois and some other places. But
Yeah.
just it's been a long time. In 2006, we're coming up on almost 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been since I've been there. But
Right.
There's no way we're that old.
Of course not.
We're even older than
I feel old every day I play at the deck. Especially with some of these like Kate Freiberg coming in.
Right.
You go and you're playing against them. Like, what are you, like 16? He's like, no, I'm 13. You're like,
Yeah, oh yeah.
What?
Right, yeah.
They're like talking to Aiden. He asked me for a couple bucks in the trailer, and he's like, I was like, what do you need a couple bucks for? He's like, I need some Takis, and I'm like, what are Takis?
Yeah.
He's like, they're chips. What do you mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
He's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time I go out there, I think someone's older than they are, and they're like, I'm 21. Like Mac Quinn.
Oh.
He's 20 years old. I was like,
Yeah.
I was blown away thinking
Yeah.
he was like closer to my age, and then of course I'm like almost double his age, and then like every time there's always someone I find out that's younger
That happens to
than
me a lot too.
Yeah.
than I am. I'm not the youngest. I'm not the oldest on our team this year though. So on our D3, we got Mickelwright. He's the old grandpa of the group.
Okay, grandpa. Okay, all right. Hopefully, you can still get up and down that ladder on the fire trucks and be able to play a little deck. Yeah, yeah. I used to get agitated when people called me old, and then like you, I started to look it up, like people's Facebooks and stuff, like for the birthdays. I'm like, yeah. I am old, and you're right. They are 13, 14, 15,
Yeah.
So,
I always like saying, you're getting schooled by a 35-year-old. Like, what?
Yeah,
you're talking
right.
crap to me. Like, what?
Right.
You play year round. Like,
Right.
Come up here to play a couple days a week. And
Yeah.
So yeah, you can kind of use it to your advantage when
Right.
you score on some of these younger guys. And,
Sure.
but
Yeah. So, PV, you made it as far as the runner-up in state.
Yep.
Okay.
Lost to Des Moines Hoover in the state finals.
All right. Okay.
I actually played with a couple of those guys in the summer kind of circuit, and so knew them very well. But it was a very high scoring affair at 32-28 in the state championship game.
Because there's no shot clock, right?
No, there wasn't. Well, and we had the number 1 defense in the state, and they had the number 2 defense in the state. So it was like,
wow.
I mean, I remember watching. I don't know if we watched it a couple years after high school or whatever, and it was just like, pass it around, can't go anywhere. Go to the drive baseline. Guy cuts you off, come back, pass it around, drive baseline, cut you off. It's like it'd be like a 2-minute possession. But yeah, now they've incorporated the shot clock. So, but yeah, that was not a fun, enjoyable game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want Brandon. I mean, I do want Brandon, but yeah, I wanted to learn about it. What position did you play?
So I played mainly point guard.
Okay.
And then I think my senior year, I kind of shuffled off to the 2 a little bit, and Brett Greenwood played the point, just so I could come off screens more and look to get more shots. And so it really was kind of the 1-2. And within our offense, it was basically a cutter's offense. So you pass and you cut, or you pass, you screen, and you could really go anywhere. Yeah. So all 5 positions were very interchangeable. So it didn't matter if you were bringing the ball up or whatever. You're going to be in basically everyone's position throughout the course of the possession anyway. So but
you gotta feel like it translates to deck though, like with your vision awareness and
that it translated a lot to me. I think a lot of it more just in the spacing. In the 3-on-3, trying to talk with people about, always keeping a triangle, or if, someone cuts, someone's got to replace them, and, keeping that spacing, and, even defensively kind of making sure, I was always, in basketball, you kind of do more help side defense, where with, guys like Bobby and them, they're saying, you need to be more tight on the man. And so I've, kind of had a transition from that. We're kind of just sitting in a gap and being more, man focused. But no, it definitely translated a lot, especially early on, just kind of how I felt the game was played, and knowing if someone cuts into me, I got to move. And so I did feel that was a good baseline sport to have played for so long to come in and play hockey. So
sure. And then you went on to Augustana?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I played there for 2 years, and then just got burnt out.
Sure.
I mean, I was playing year round from about 9 years old. So I'd play. Especially in high school, you have all summer. You do weights 3 days a week. You have open gym 3 days a week. Then you got fall. You got summer league. Then you got fall league. You got open gym in the fall.
Right.
And the season hits, and the longest season is basketball. It starts like middle of October and it goes to March.
Oh, so that's where Pat learned it from.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so then it sucked because you'd miss, especially in college, you miss Thanksgiving break, you miss Christmas break because you're in season and you're practicing, so you don't get to go home, and and then you miss spring break because it's right in the middle of March and you're right at March Madness time, and so I just got burnt out. And then the spring of high school I would play tennis. It was just kind of my 3 months to get away from basketball to try to not burn out. And that was and my coach always wanted me to run track or something that translated more with basketball, but it was just kind of my getaway, and just it wasn't something I took super seriously. Obviously it was competitive, but it was just that was my time away from basketball. I put the ball down and played tennis. So
cool. Okay. I looked it up. There's the Euroleague.com. And it shows Brian Larson on there, and then one of the questions says, "Is Brian Larson in the Hall of Fame?" It says, "No, Brian Larson's not in the Hall of Fame." But I just, for whatever reason, found that funny. Because they must have like a database like every basketball player knows.
The EuroLeague?
Yeah, it says Eurobasket.com. I think is where I found it. Yeah, I did my research. Dick Hall of Fame, we're getting there.
Working on it.
Yes. Man, I was creeping through your Facebook, which is what I do, and showed you lost 10 pounds a month over CrossFit. Man, you've been doing CrossFit then?
So I've been in a CrossFit gym for like 8 years, then that closed down like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, and then I was just kind of doing my own thing with like a personal trainer. And then I got injured in October. I tore my labrum, and then I didn't do anything from like October to a month ago. I mean, obviously deck was kind of my workout, but I approached Austin Teal. He owns 1031 Fitness down there on State Street. And just met with him and just said, hey, I need to get back into it, but I'm kind of afraid to do my own thing because I don't want to hurt my shoulder more than it already is. I need something that's kind of tailored to it. So he writes me 3 days a week workouts, and then I do their class 1 day a week, and So yeah, and I've been needing to lose weight. I mean, we always joke around with like Woody and those guys that if you're above 200 pounds, we consider ourselves chunks. So I always like I'll get up to like 220, and then like okay, it's time to not be a chunk anymore. So then I'll get down to like 198 and kind of hover there for a little while. Then deck season ends and I'll go back to 215, 220, and then
fancy.
so yes,
Right.
yeah. So I fluctuate a lot back and forth between that 220 and 200. So we're down to like 207 and working to get down to 200 to get because it makes deck so much easier.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not carrying around 20 extra pounds. So,
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of I've been hitting that hard for the last month and getting ready for the second half of the season and summer tournament, and so yeah.
Okay. Is your goalie career done then, or on hiatus?
Well, I sold my goalie gear, so
Okay.
I bought some goalie gear from Union last year.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it, but this year I was talking with Leslie. Obviously having a second baby, it was like, all right, we're not. It was kind of the debate between 1 and 2 teams, and I told myself if I'm able to play 2 teams, I want to play 2 out because I enjoy playing out a lot more.
Yeah.
But I subbed in net I think once or twice this year, and I really enjoyed it. I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to be on a more of a sub basis, but
Yeah.
a whole season's a little much for me.
Okay.
Then they ranked me up to D4, so that kind of put a hampering on, playing in the 5+ or whatever, because then I cost a rank point, and I've been very open with those guys. Like, there's a lot better D4 goalies. Having jumped up 2 ranks after my first season, there's a lot of guys that were ranked D4 that I'm like, you guys need to go after those guys.
Okay.
And, me in D4 or 4+ would not, I don't think, be a pretty sight.
Okay.
I'm not very flexible, so getting in the butterfly is not an option for me.
Okay.
So, getting up in those higher leagues, I think I'd get very much exposed.
Right.
But Perry, he's been playing amazing.
Yeah.
And he's kind of more of that stand
Yeah,
up.
yes, that's what I was thinking of when you said that.
He's more of a stand up style
Right,
goalie,
right.
and it works for him. And but I would try to drop, but then I'd drop and I'd leave like a foot on each side of the each side of the net. So it's like I'm really not butterflying. I'm just covering like a third of the net and dropping down to the ground. So, but if I was more flexible, I think it would be a little bit more enjoyable rather than going down and getting up and being old and my knees hurt. And so
Okay.
but,
Okay. You own Greenwood Cleaning Systems now?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
you bought it, what,
It'll
a
be
year or 2 ago?
Yeah, it'll be 2 years in December.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yep, I worked there for 8 years, and the owner had approached me, Dave Greenwood, which Brett Greenwood's dad, and I've been good friends with them since the 2nd grade, and I had approached him in years past about wanting more, and I've been in sales for so long, and I love sales, but there's got to be something more. I don't want to just do this, and he kind of approached me with the opportunity to possibly buy the business. Like it was like a 5-year plan basically of here's what I'm looking at. Down the road I can kind of see you as the successor to this, and so then it kind of just got shelved for like 4 years, and then I brought it up to him, and kind of had about a year mentorship leading up to buying it, where I'd come in early with him and kind of see what he does on a day-to-day, and so it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been stressful, but
Is that because of Bowie working for you?
Oh, no.
No?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh yeah, him and I were actually putting up dispensers yesterday. So
Oh, okay.
no, he's been great, and and we got a great group. There we've got I think 11 employees, and thankfully haven't really had any turnover in a while. So it's been good. Like I said, the growing pains of learning how to run a business and do it the right way is definitely challenging, but I enjoy it. So.
Yeah, it looks like you guys doing great. I'm eating over at Quick Star, man. I see your trucks all the time, so yeah, you guys doing great. Your business is basically selling to businesses, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, we do
products.
we sell to people that walk in and things like that, but it's not very much. It's more commercial and industrial.
Right.
Schools are a big thing for us. We sell a ton to school districts.
Okay.
And we sell cleaning supplies. We sell equipment.
Yeah.
I just bought my dad's carpet cleaning business last year, so now we offer
Oh.
commercial and residential carpet
okay.
cleaning. So I kind of
Okay.
wanted to get in to the service side of things, so we could actually have that as an offering, so we don't lose business on. Some customers don't want to buy an $8,000 carpet extractor, but they'll pay $800 to have their carpets cleaned. So
Yeah.
having the option to do both.
Right.
was something, my dad, he owned it for 20 years, and I've always told him whenever he was ready to sell that I'd be interested in taking it over. And it kind of was a really smooth transition with owning a cleaning company to bring on a cleaning service. So
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's been fun.
So are you there was a PV Jan or Rick Larson. Are you related to him?
I'm not, but I know Rick very well. So,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so
I was
Rick-
just curious because okay.
So Rick and
Alright.
Nancy, and
Yeah.
obviously, so they went to our family church, and I've known them since second grade, I think. And actually, I went to Peru with them for a couple missions trips back in high school, and
Okay.
so yeah, I know them really. They actually stopped by the office the other day, but I wasn't in. They left me a note that said, "Hey, we came by to say hello.
Oh,
and we're
okay.
here." And
Okay.
but yeah, there's a couple Larsons,
Yeah.
PV that. I have no relation to. There was a Matt
okay.
Larson on my basketball team that was a year younger, no relation.
Okay.
But no, I know them very well.
Okay. I was just curious. Yeah. You spoke of your wife Leslie. What would a date night typically involve with between you two?
Yeah,
Have you
he
ever
needs some
involved-
We're not. I mean, we're not. We
Yeah.
have not been the best in terms of getting date nights planned.
Mhm.
With two little ones, we've kind of it just kind of gets put to the wayside, and it needs to definitely come more to the forefront. But
Yeah.
we're both homebodies, and when it comes to the stuff like that, I mean, we used to always watch like Netflix series and shows, and then when Drake was born, it kind of dwindled, and then when the second one was born, it was like there's really no time, and so we always were watching like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad, and then I just started watching Suits, and so she wants to start watching that. So
I
we're
just
trying
started that one too.
Did
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, it's going to be a commitment though. It's 8 seasons,
Is it?
and they're
really?
an hour-long episodes. So I'm like,
Wow.
this is going to be
Sorry.
like a
baby.
year. Like back when we were just dating or newly married, it'd be 8 seasons. It'd be like 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's true.
Go out
Yeah.
hard on a Saturday night and watch
right.
an entire season on Sunday, just hungover
Right.
and so yeah. Now it's more like watch an episode every like 4 days when you get a chance or.
That's what I do when I'm washing dishes. I'll just put my phone up and watch Suits. And
Yeah. I just watched the first pilot episode
Mhm.
like 2 nights ago. So,
Same.
and I've seen a bunch of clips on like when you're scrolling TikTok or, I saw and it was like that looks really good, and then it showed up on Netflix. So I was,
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
but
You should watch it with me. It's good.
I will if women have time. I gotta do these shows for a couple
For the people.
For people. Favorite restaurant?
Texas Roadhouse.
Now we're fucking talking.
Yeah, Leslie was like, oh, I was thinking about taking Drake to Texas Roadhouse tonight. I'm like, what? I'm not gonna. I wanted to go.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I always say for the price of a steak there, you can't get much better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like they've changed.
They
That's
haven't. The
exactly-
Like I can get an
yeah.
11-ounce sirloin for like $12, or
Yeah.
like $14, and it's
Right.
been that since I feel like high school.
Right.
Yeah, I think
right.
they're the only ones that haven't skyrocketed.
Yeah,
with the
and
inflation.
I feel like I've never had a bad steak there. And
Yeah.
my problem is I'd eat like a dozen rolls. And then
Yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell yes.
all that butter. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
You have a favorite vacation spot?
somewhere warm. I
Yeah.
mean, Leslie and I, before we had Drake, we went on like 9 trips. We went to Hawaii, Nashville, Colorado, Florida, New York, and went all across and just kind of had a year of travel, knowing that we were gonna start having kids, and that was gonna slow down a little bit. But Hawaii was by far my favorite. We just rented a car and were able to just drive around on the island, and again, we're vacation wise, we're both like no plans. We don't like to have a schedule of at 8 o'clock we're having breakfast, and then 10:30 we're gonna go do this, and then noon it's like no. I like to get there and then we just kind of go with the flow and
Sure.
go lay by the pool, and if an hour later we both want to go for a drive, we'll go for a drive. But yeah, we're definitely warm weather people, and if it was just me like with like a guy's trip, I love like Colorado, and like
okay.
skiing and stuff like that. But Leslie's not much. She doesn't enjoy that, for a vacation going skiing or that type of stuff. And so, but I love warm weather if I'm going to go somewhere, especially now, and just get away from my phone and work and just lay on a beach somewhere. So
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah. You spoke about Yeti Day upcoming. What worries you the most about Yeti Day? Because it's at your place, right? And I've driven by your place. It's a very nice house.
Unfortunately, it was my own doing.
Yeah.
Last year.
Okay.
So on the invite, I don't know if you saw, but it said no showers past 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So I had numerous people be like, "What? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean you can't?" So I think I don't know what time we ended last year, 10 or 11 or whatever. Ended up taking my friend downstairs. He was passed out and needed to get him to his bed, and so he was sleeping on the floor in our basement. And I decided I wanted to go take a shower. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and I ended up falling asleep on the floor, and I ended up covering the drain.
Oh,
So
okay.
Leslie walked in at like 1:30 in the morning or 2 in the morning, and
Yeah.
she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Just taking a shower." And then she stepped, and our entire bathroom was flooded, and it had gone down the air vents, and our entire basement was coming through the drywall. It was flooding the basement. And so my best friend, he's laying down there, he's asleep on the floor, and he starts getting hit with water in the head. And you'd think he'd be like, "Hey, that doesn't seem right."
Right.
He just woke up and went upstairs and went to sleep on the couch.
Okay.
Yes, so Leslie had videos and pictures and sent them to the Yeti group of the basement just trickling water through the roof onto the floor. And yeah, she was not happy.
Okay.
So I have not taken a drunk shower since that day.
That day,
And,
okay.
and I liked those. So now it was kind of sad. So I gotta. But yeah, so that is what I'm most afraid of. But I guess it'd be me.
Right.
So, but I'd definitely be most afraid of what punishment would come down if I did that again, because our basement wasn't finished, thankfully, at the time.
Oh, okay.
We finished it like 3 or 4 months later. So thankfully it was like concrete floor and no flooring was ruined, and the drywall we had just put up, but it only like got the bottom part, which wasn't a big deal, they said, because that's where the baseboards are going to be. And so
okay.
yes, that's what I am most nervous about.
She's just shaking her head. All right. It's going to be a day. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good time. Are you guys coming? Did you say you're coming?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we just got a keg of beer. We'll have, last year we had, Ryan's shirts. I think we chipped his tooth. The guys got all our hockey gear out, and wanted to play in net, and so we were hitting slap shots at like Greg Gahard and Michael Hogue and all that. And then I don't know how Bowie and shirts were going back and forth, and then a stick went up and popped his tooth off. So yeah, then there's no more of that. So each year we're finding things that we're gonna have to eliminate from Yeti Day, but it hasn't resulted in any hospital visits yet. So
okay. I think I'd have a better shot of like an American Ninja Warrior if not getting injured here.
Sounds like it. Yeah. What are your neighbors gonna think?
Yeah.
they actually, they were. It wasn't that big last year. I mean, it was over by 10 o'clock at night. But I mean, we've had beer Olympics in the past, and we actually hired. Doug Brundy's?
Yeah.
So God, I went to school with him.
So we hired him to play at our beer Olympics one year.
Oh, awesome.
So, but we had to get a city ordinance because the year before the cops came and said we were too loud and neighbors were calling. And so then the next year we did our due diligence and called the city of Davenport and said, "Hey, we're going to be having a party with live music from 4 to 10 or whatever it is." And so with that, then people that called in, then they would just say, "Well, they've got a city ordinance approval," and so
take that.
So yeah, we learn.
Yeah,
we learn each year.
Sure.
Cops get called. What happened? Okay, let's take care of that. And so we learn each year. But no, last year we didn't have any issues, and we just had a speaker out back, and so.
Okay. Well, with that said, you ready to roll through D4?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we gotta get this man rolling. Yeah. D4 is gonna be 1K money, so you might collect $2,500 altogether if you're lucky. Napper bags, championship hats, and water bottles, and that'd be the last group that actually make money in the tourney because we'll get the D5. It ain't much. Well, we got a dozen teams in D4.
Yes,
All right.
there
Are we
12.
rolling good on the video there, Coco? Have you checked lately? No. Yeah. All right. All right.
Yeah, great.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Of course, the Yeti's last.
Okay.
I don't have nicknames for a D4 though, so I'm sorry.
Darn it.
I strap on. I can't wait to see him.
Obviously, you won't see this tomorrow, so you can just call it to him on the
right,
deck tonight.
right, yeah. Where'd you find that out? What we got?
All right, we got Chicago Knights first.
Okay.
We got Martin Landowski,
Okay.
Stevie J. Jadown.
Oh, he's my newest Facebook friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Sam Ansari, Anthony Martino, Adam Stewart, Sean Frick, Ben Greiner, Lou Mangini, not Malnati, Chris Landowski, and then Ray Tobias. in goal.
I think I played these guys last year. They can shoot some clappers because they use that 5-on-5 that he was talking about. If they adjust their game a little bit to 3-on-3, and they were doing just fine last year. Like they got some serious talent.
I don't
think
know.
it's a
I don't know
little
many.
older of a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it? I mean, is the old man strength in this year, or is that like them, but they're called the Knights?
No, I don't
I feel
recognize
like I
any
didn't see
names.
any old man strengths, but I didn't. I didn't
I
look
don't
that
re-
in depth.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of those names from that team, but I could be wrong.
I don't.
Yeah.
And
okay.
those names ring a bell for me.
Yeah, yeah. Or I played them maybe 2 years ago, but yeah, they're going to be solid. What's next?
Glencoe North Stars.
No, that's unusual. It was Chicago with a North Star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Zarnick, Matt Brackfeld, Sam Biba, Chris Frederick, Patty Gleason, Joey Gleason, Joe Gleason, Keith Cadden, Brian Newtek, and Art Carpenter in goal.
Well, I saw his head nod when you said Keith.
Yeah. I was talking to. I don't know if I was talking to Wyatt or someone. I was curious if Keith was going to be coming this year. So he obviously played with us last year in D4, and then he played with us in the 5-on-5 up in Chicago as well. So, really nice kid, really good hockey player, and yeah, I'm glad he'll be up there. So.
A lot of Gleasons. I think you guys just make me do this so you can like make me struggle with the last names.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Anarchy.
Doing great. There you go. You should know these names.
Oh yeah.
Riley Lewis.
Cody Bomber.
Cody Baumer, okay.
Chase Newton. Austin
Holy
Rose.
shit, Chase Newton's back?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Austin Roseborough, Ethan Quinn, Mike Corey, Nate Corey, Adam Trone, Xander Boatman, Jake Cohen, and Justin Sandquist in goal.
Oh, so Sandquist is back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And got Cohen. I mean, he that was a big pickup for them last year, and one of the main reasons that I think they beat us. Him at that point with Gomez and I can't remember if it was Muting or one of those guys, but it's like you couldn't take away Gomez because you couldn't leave Cohen up at the point. Yeah. So having a guy like Cohen for them in D4 he's a good player. And he's fast, he's smart, he knows how to play. Obviously, the other guys I've played against all of them as well, and they're always tough. I mean, when you play the same guys so many times, said you can throw records out the window a lot of the time because it just comes down to who's playing better that day, and because they got a lot of good that's a lot of good players that you play a lot, so we know what they do, they know what we do, and so it makes for fun matchups with them every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be a solid team. I need to apologize in advance. I kind of slept on Anarchy a bit, before the season or season previews, because they lost some guys. They've done a good job of having a lot of great young talent. They got a lot of teams up there in the lower divisions. So
is that 4+ or is it 4 that they're up at?
4+.
No, 4+ is the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks. Yeah.
We're trying to disband that team though, come next year. So I'm in talks of getting TJ and Brenton to just get rid of them. Tell the Mighty Ducks to go away.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe we'll just beat them really bad in D4 summer tournament and ruin their spirits.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, call them strap on broken eye, but okay.
We'll make sure to bring one for our first game.
Yeah, right.
Put him on his helmet.
Put it on Dakota's helmet, playing the net for us. Just a unicorn horn.
Oh my god. Oh shit. What we got next?
Justin O. We probably need a team name. Toros.
Okay.
Justin Adams, Michael Rarrett, David Kramer, Tony Ross, Steve Grass, Tom Mruck, Jeremy DeCharia, John DeCharia, John Trapani, and Dave Chmile.
Well, I don't know a damn thing about them while you finish that. So, but I think they're a Chicago team, right? Plays in the 5-on-5.
Why do the Chicago people always have such hard names?
They're all mafia. If the Toros got a very, they're well known for their 5-on-5 shit though. So, yeah, that'll be solid.
Mighty Ducks.
Oh, big orange. All right. Alrighty.
All right. Kyle Chandler, Josh Becht, Matt Monty, Peyton Bazari, Noah Segrin, Brenton Stropes, strap one, TJ Finch, Eric Lucan, Josh Becht in goal with Colton Nelson Ebug.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, playing against TJ and Brenton, obviously we played against them last year and they beat us in the D4 championship, and they play really good two-way hockey. I mean, they're both great offensive players, but they're just as talented defensively. So it always makes it really tough because you can't make mistakes offensively because they're going to take it the other way. And so I haven't had a chance to. I know Lucan is another guy that they brought in this year. He played college hockey with TJ, and I know he's a really good player.
Okay.
So again, they're all underranked. So that Nick needs to get on it with Brenton and Lucan and get them ranked up. So Brenton's he's a sandbagger is what he is.
Oh,
so
okay.
He was talking all the first half of the season. He was scoring too much, so he stopped scoring to make sure he didn't get ranked up. So making sure we call him out so for next year they can't. Can't run it back and do 4 plus.
You don't want that. No, you want fair for everybody.
But no, that's a good team. I mean, Monty, he's a really good player.
Kyle
Chandler's a great
better.
He's been a really good player. Peyton Nazari's a good player. I mean, that's a good team top to bottom. I mean, and Beck, when Beck's on in net, he's very, very tough. So, you gotta find some goals against him, and hopefully get some early, and kind of crack the armor a little bit. But if you get some confidence going, and then he's a very, very tough goalie to put it in on. I mean, we could not score in the championship last year. It's just about wanted to beat my head in with my stick. Keep trying different things. They would match up. TJ and Brenton would match up with me and Wyatt. So then we tried to switch it up and put us on second line. So then they would go out and wait till we came out in second line, and then we tried making Wyatt and I on different lines, which that's not what we wanted to do, but kind of a way to maybe try to. So they were in our heads a little bit last year, trying to figure out what to do and get some offensive opportunities against them. But hoping this year will be a different story.
Okay. Yeah.
Next we have Waterloo Chaos. Dalton Hagaboo, Carter Buchan, Caleb Buchan, Dominic Buchan, Shelton Davis, Jacob Reagan, Taylor Payne, Dylan Hamilton, and then it shows both Shelton and Taylor in goal.
I would assume
Taylor too. Yeah, I would figure. Yeah.
That would be my guess. That's a good team.
Yeah, other than Jacob Reagan, I'm just kidding. I'm getting shit. Yeah, solid team for sure.
Dalton, he just got a sneaky good shot. Like you think you're on him, and then he can just kind of contort the shot, kind of around, and all of a sudden it's just in a hard spot for the goalie to get to, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
The Buchan boys. I mean, they play very physical. They're aggressive.
Yeah.
That's a good team.
Dylan Hamilton's a big boy. Big boy.
I think if I know who you're talking about, it's like you feel like you should be able to get around him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's right there. You're
like,
what?
No, I mean like he's tough. He's tough D. Yeah. I
mean, similar to you, but you got like a 9-foot stick, so I feel like you can't get around it. You just feel like you think you get around, then you just stick your arm out and you just, God damn it.
That's all I got, man. That's cool, man. I'm glad to see them all down here.
I'm surprised the Buchans aren't playing in D3 at all.
I mean, they're talented. Yeah, talented enough.
That's what I'm thinking. That's a really good D4 team with those guys.
Right. Are you with us?
Yes.
Okay, what's next?
Chicago Hornets.
Oh.
Keith Kreitzer, Ryan Canoy, Steve Marciano, I recognize that name, Will Penman, Ian Klenn, Josh Biskin, John Biskin, Mackenzie Biskin, Mike Dykstra, Brandon Evans.
Oh.
And they have 3 goalies listed.
Yeah, okay.
Antoine Muth.
Yeah.
Brian Pisnarski is E-Bug, and they also have Brandon Evans.
I would assume Evans is playing out.
So
I thought he said he was playing out and in for 2 different teams, and I'm pretty positive he's Edward Jones.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we're right for once on this program.
So maybe this Antoine is goalie.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know many of those names.
And I'm sure when I see him, I'll know. Because I mean, we've played against the Hornets and the Snipers, and you don't know the names, and then you play them like, oh yeah, I played against every one of them last year. So they're always tough. The Hornets, the Snipers, all those Chicago teams. So, and it's always tougher because even if they're new guys, you don't really know how they play.
That's the worst.
So you go into games and you really have no kind of strategy, and you play an Anarchy. It's like, okay, we know kind of who to expect and where to go and where to be, and so it definitely makes it interesting. And instead of 2 10-minute periods, you're really trying to fight for that first goal because you get down 1, it feels like the walls are coming in because there was so little time to get it back. But
Right. Yeah, agreed.
Quad City Blackhawks.
Oh. I bet Emma knows some names.
Yep. All of them. Cole Brown, Matt
Okay.
Ressler, Reese Mower, Alex Sellers.
There he is.
All right. Who'd you say? Oh, Alex Sellers?
Yep.
Okay.
Brandon Charles, Nate Whalen, Shane Smith, JJ Hartman, Braden Hathaway, and then it shows Nate Whalen, Joe Dare, and Braden in goal.
I think Joe Dare's in goal because of his rank. He's a D1 forward, so
yeah,
yeah.
That makes sense.
yeah, he's got
Yeah,
to be.
yeah, he's got to be.
He's a D3, I think, goalie. So that,
Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of their D4 team. I haven't seen JJ in a while, but yeah, obviously they got some talent there. I know a lot of those guys. Sellers is going to kill in D4. Reese Moore, we were talking about him off air. Saying good things about you, Reese. He can move. Boy, he can move. He's got a good shot, and he keeps getting better and better. So
Very cool.
Joe Dare's when he's on D4.
Now, was that the team that was? I feel like Dylan Idle and those guys were supposed to put a team together. That's Deck Generals?
Yeah,
For
Deck
some-
Generals. Yeah,
For some reason, I was thinking the Blackhawks, and
Yeah.
Dylan Idle said he made a mistake again this year. I think it's the second year in a row.
He overslept. Yeah. Yes. Dylan.
I see it right
yeah.
after it says it's sold out. He's posting right on there. GM fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anyone looking for a team
Right.
or a
yeah.
player? So
Yeah. He's something.
I'm
Yeah.
glad he's back playing. I know
Me
he had
too,
a
yeah.
hell of a year last year with his
Right.
hip, and
Right.
I was glad he was able to be a part of our 4+ Yetis last year.
Yeah.
Then he got injured, pretty early on, and kind of had to call the season. When did he have surgery? I think he
Yeah,
did.
he did. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
seeing him back out there is fun because I know he loves to play, and
Right.
he's fun. He's a good dude. So
Yeah, he is a very good dude, and I did see him. We'll talk to him about tomorrow. He's on a D5 team, so
nice.
and with some of his homies, I believe. So yeah, good to see him back playing.
Okay.
And check him over at Chili's if you ever want a meal. He's yeah.
I love their chili con queso.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Have you ever had it?
Good. No.
Oh,
Ah.
Sounds yummy though.
It's like their queso meat dip. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that'd be like the dip I make in the crock pot.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, we're always down to visit our local establishments.
Yeah, we haven't been there in a while.
Yeah.
Southside Stingrays.
Okay.
This might be the team that has crazy eyes. Bill Little, Nick Keebles, Zach McWilliams, Eric Kanizaki.
Mhm.
Thanks, guys. Landon Slowicki, Ryan Milnicki, Alex Hodge, Troy Hansen,
Oh,
Wade Bittner, Max Smith,
okay.
and then it has Wade and Bill in goal with Tim Sitar as E-Bug.
Yeah, I think Wade's the goalie there.
I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like a handful of those names were old man strength guys.
Exactly. I was just going
Okay.
to say that. 100%.
I feel like Bill Little is one that really sticks out to me. And
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you started that, I'm like, that sounds like old man strength.
Yeah.
So
How about Max Smith? That little fuck.
is he the 14-year-old?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
blonde hair?
Yeah. Yeah. And he talks a good game too. I thought there.
Does he really?
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
does.
gosh.
Yeah, when him and Max Patton play together, yeah. Well, they let you know.
A little swag out there.
Yeah, a little swag. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I like seeing.
Yeah, I saw he was posting looking for a team, so I'm assuming they snagged him up from
Yeah.
the sub finder.
They
so.
must have. They did good then.
Yeah.
It was a good find.
Yeah, he was a good player. He
Yeah.
played in the All-Star game, and so that was the first
Oh,
time I got to
okay.
play with him was on that. I think he won the
Oh,
shootout.
shootout competition. Yeah.
So-
Okay. All right. I scored in that I don't want to brag. But I scored in that, and then after the game, Cole's like, "Was that nasty? I let you score on purpose, Mark." So I felt bad. I fucking charity. But anyways.
He's just saying that.
No, he wasn't. No, he did earlier say he was going to let me score, and I forgot. I just brushed it off. It's like a joke. Anyways.
QC Buffaloes.
Oh, that's an interesting name.
Cade Freiberger, Alex Blanc, Alec Mendoza, Josh Orwig, Max Patton, Amos Spector,
Oh.
Sam Blanc, Brady Szweski, Henry Drissel, and Gavin Barr in goal.
Some younger guys then. Yeah. Amos, I've only seen him play once or twice, but my God. That
I also
dude's
think,
an animal.
I also think Cade's underranked. I
Dude,
feel like
yeah.
he came in at D3, and then I don't know if he played a couple games in the
Huh.
higher leagues, and then they put him down to 4+. But I mean, he's been tearing it up.
Yeah.
He's got. I mean, obviously he plays ice. He's, grew through the ranks of Yoli too. I think. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
he's 13 and just came fresh off of that. But
Right.
then you think about those guys playing in juniors, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
How did I score like 100 goals? Because they're. But yeah, I think he's a guy that definitely could be a higher rank. So getting him at 4+, I think is a steal.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
technical director just told me that you said Amos's name wrong.
What is it?
Amos.
Amos.
You said Amos.
Yikes! I work with him.
Famous Amos.
Yeah, maybe
There you
it is. I apologize right
Is that
now.
right, technical director?
Yeah. Definitely want to try.
Yeah.
I've been joking with TJ and them because they've been talking to Cade, but I said
Yeah.
my goal is to get Cade to be a Yeti next year. So we'll see what we can. Might have to.
Yeah. Here's a kicker. You're going to see Cade in the roster tomorrow.
In D5?
You heard me?
How?
You can have 1 4+.
Yeah, you got 1 4+.
So typically, I think it is like if you can basically be 2 ranks above the league, and
Yeah.
you can have one of them.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
could be
It's like a little twig.
that could be a lot of goals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He did a move. I subbed with Mighty Dex and 4+, and he was subbing because like TJ and Brenton and all of them were, I think, at Brenton's bachelor party or something. There was like 6 of them on the team that were gone, so we had 7 guys, and I think 5 of them were subs. And I don't know what the move is called, but like where he deked the goalie and then he went like this way to the left of the goal and then just had the ball on the right side and just like just basically walked past the net and had it on this side and it went past the goalie.
Oh my
I was just
gosh.
like, I know Phil always talks about wanting to do that in a shootout,
Yeah.
and I forget what the name is. It's like the Statue of Liberty or something like that, but
Okay.
it's probably not. Probably way off.
Yeah, I don't know.
He did that, and I was just
Yeah.
like, what? Like I'm just trying to keep the ball on my stick,
Yeah.
let alone deke him and then just put it way out here and then just basically roll it in the net. I'm like,
Right.
Wow.
yeah,
Damn. Okay.
Let's see, what do we got next? I'm on the page. Chicago Snipers, D4.
Buffaloes. That's an interesting name. I'll be cool to see the uniforms. Okay. Go on.
Kenny Schmidt, Raymond Hagen, Andre Hagen, Andre Youngerman, Murphy Montalvo, Suleiman Masood, Nav Masood, Kenny Schmidt, and Phil Kazmierek in goal.
If your last name's Hagen, you're probably pretty good, right? Hagen Hagi.
Probably.
yeah, I know none of those.
Yeah, me
names.
neither. Yeah. Would you say they're from Chicago? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Snipers.
Chicago
Yeah,
Snipers.
snipers. Yeah.
Because they got D2, 3, and 4, I think.
Okay.
They-
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yikes.
yeah, they'll be loaded and ready to run. So, cool.
Last but not least,
What happened to your mascot? Is that still around?
Oh yeah, we still got it somewhere.
Isn't that nice?
It's probably in the back of my truck. I don't know
Oh,
if you've seen my
okay.
truck. I basically have everything in it.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
if I'm ever looking for something, I'll just be like, oh, I need a pair of shorts. There's got to be a pair somewhere in here. So
Oh.
I'm sure it's probably in the back of my.
Isn't that nice when you open up the QC deck page and you're on the front of it every time? Does that make it nice for their photo?
Oh, yeah.
With the Yeti in the
Yeah,
background.
right. Yeah.
I always get crap for that though, because I always say I want to
Yeah,
cup and net, and
right.
then Wyatt always corrects and says,
Yeah.
"You were a net that game." I'm like, shut up.
Shut up. That's funny.
you want to do the roster? Or do you want me to?
You can say the name. I don't have any fun nicknames
Okay.
on this one, so.
Okay. They have Landon Delaska, Brian Larson, Matt Bowie, Bill Bittner, Warren Kaihui, Chris Runge, Josh Slemmy, Jake Schultz, Dakota Blackaby with Dakota Engel.
Here's a little interesting fact before he lavishes praise on his guys. It's Runge, I think Wednesday, he said. He has 4 games in a row, 2 in D5, 2 in D4 with you guys. So he plays
What?
back. Yeah.
Oh my
Never
God.
happened to me.
Nice.
Anyways,
Well, if
yeah.
you think about it, it's still shorter games.
Yeah,
so maybe
it
it's only
is,
like
yeah.
3 games, but
right.
Yeah,
And he's a guy I wouldn't worry about. Like,
Yeah.
it's totally fine, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this team because there's a
Okay.
lot of guys that I haven't played with.
Yeah.
Obviously with Wyatt getting ranked up, it didn't allow us to both play together in D4, which is kind of a bummer. But I was pumped to get Warren. I was talking to Bowie about that. Hey, should we try to get Warren? And he was like, hell yeah. So
Yeah.
messaged him, and he hadn't had a team, and so he was, he's really excited to play with us in the Yetis. And like Rungy, I played with a little bit with 4+, but he'd always been an Anarchy guy, prior to this year, and never played with Landon, so I'm excited for that. So yeah, there's a couple guys on there that I'm really excited to, kind of just a different, makeup of our Yetis. Normally we'd have kind of our same core 8 or 9 guys, and it's kind of fun to, like I said, branch out to a few new guys. But real excited to play with Bowie and Phil and those guys. I mean, Bowie's been on a tear lately. I mean, I've been looking. I always go on when they're playing and look in. And, he had 5 points, and then 4 points, and then 5 points, and then 3 points. And so I mean, he's been playing awesome. And even Phil in 4+, I mean, he was playing great. I mean, he was scoring a bunch, and so and not having the chance to be rostered on a team with those guys, I'm really excited to be able to play summer tournament with them. And I think getting Dakota at a 4+, and that's a steal. I mean, the guys. I mean, he's a little spider monkey back there. It's crazy. I mean, it's kind of like Mike Womack, and how he he'll dive out at you, and then he's spraying all over the place and will flip all over, and you're like, God, I don't know how he does some of those, but he's a character. I mean, I love Dakota. Quietest guy you ever met, and then playing hockey, he's just a different animal. But no, I'm really excited about the team, and I think we've got a good chance to make some noise. I think in D4.
Sure.
So
yeah. All right. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Do you feel like sometimes the crowd's against you guys because of your success at times? Does that bother you a bit?
I know.
Or no?
I mean, I think a lot of
because
people,
if people get to know you personally, like you and Wyatt are like the nicest guys I've ever met. And
slowly learning this.
Right.
Yeah, we're nice guys.
No, you are though.
It was funny last year, and I don't know, and he probably doesn't even remember it. So it was Nate Whelan. He was drunk. It was like, I don't know, it was Saturday night at the summer tournament, or he stopped me and was talking to me, and he's like, you've got the reputation for one of the dirtiest players here at the deck. And I was like, I've got like 4 penalty
Yeah, we
minutes.
just talked about it. 8 in your career.
I'm like, what do you mean I'm the dirtiest player out here?
Right.
So I don't know, just playing against guys, and whether it's just being ultra competitive and getting into the game is comes off as snarky or asshole-ish. Is that a word? But no, I off the deck. I mean, and I think a lot of people find that out. We've had a lot of guys that have hated the Yetis, and then we'll talk to them after the game, or drink a couple of beers with them, and then we'll end up getting them to sub with us a few times, and then can slowly try to transition people that way. But I do feel like it is a lot of anti-Yeti out there, and but I enjoy it. I mean, it makes it more fun when you get crowds into the game, and we always have a really good following with our family and friends, and so you get against Anarchy and those teams that there'll be a lot of chirping going back and forth. But no, I enjoy it, and I know the other guys do too. So
cool. Well, I certainly wish you guys success in both leagues this year. And
what about D5?
Not as much as that. I mean, I certainly hope they have a great time, though. And I look at that roster, and that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. Obviously, that's a very solid roster as well. And some familiar names that he just talked about. So. Yeah. But man, appreciate you coming over, man.
Yeah,
I know you gotta get the game, man. Yeah, it's really nice getting to know you the last couple of years, man. You guys are a lot of fun, so. Not fun to play against, but but I certainly appreciate it, man. So one more thing is I'm actually double booked tonight. I actually got to play for our Yetis in 5+, so I don't have to play.
You're
fucking
the sub, huh?
Yeah. So I was just
confused when
I got Mr. Esco on the
you're
case.
hoping for a double Yeti victory tonight, then?
Oh, that's tough.
Who do you got subbing for you?
Mr. Esco. Jordan Esco, yeah.
He's bringing my breezers. I'm playing ice hockey with him
okay.
this winter. So.
Oh, okay.
He found a nice pair of breezers from like the Quad City Storm end of the year sale.
And
it was like $60, and I'm like, cool. Like, I'll take those. And then he got them home and he tried them on and he liked them. And he's like, I'll give you mine for a case of Busch Light.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like, I'm trying to literally accumulate everything for as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
So I got a stick from Nick for like $20 because it was an old stick and he hated it, and I got gloves for free from Esco. I got my breezers, and I just got to find some shoulder pads and some skates. And
okay. Heck yeah, man.
And
You'll
we're
have a
garbage. We're garbage hunting for hockey gear. 'Cause, you can spend like $2,000
No
getting
kidding.
ice hockey gear. And,
Oh, yeah.
Really?
and that's one of the things. Obviously, I hope if Drake loves hockey and gets into ice. I'm like, that's what everyone tells me is it's very expensive. Especially at that age. I mean, every year they outgrow it, so then they're going to have to get new skates and new shoulder pads and.
That's the only reason our son, we took him out at ice hockey because it got expensive after, like, once they start getting ready to travel
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm like, you can't do that.
Yeah, I've heard it's one of the most expensive sports to play. So
Okay.
we'll see if that's where he goes. So
Okay. Oh, well, there's it. We'll try to do D5 tomorrow, right, Court?
Yep.
so
Okay.
who are you predicting for D3 and D4?
Gosh, I'd have to. Can I have my phone real quick?
Yes.
Do the
I got to
teams.
get your predictions.
Who would you say other than your team? Because I know you're gonna say your team.
D4.
Yeah.
The Mighty Ducks are going to be up there.
Yeah.
I think that Waterloo team.
Yeah.
That's
what I
a
mentioned,
really
yeah.
a really strong team, top to bottom.
Right.
So just because I'm trying to disband the Mighty Ducks, I'm gonna go Waterloo.
Okay.
Outside of the
Okay.
Eddies.
Yeah. Waterloo is on top of my mind just because I'm familiar with some of those guys.
And then D3.
Yeah.
I think the Moose Knuckles team I think has a good chance. Because they got a lot of high ranked guys, and you got a guy like Braden who I think might be under ranked.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be tough. Maybe he doesn't agree.
No. Yeah. Where's D3? I mean, they beat us up in Waterloo. Remember that one time? We had a lot of crazy talent. We had Dalby, McMillan, and some of those guys. So.
And the Snipers always bring a good team, down. Obviously, I don't know a lot of the names other than Nolan, but they've always got young, fast kids, and so they make it tough. But
Yeah, I mean, hard for me to say. I'll say this, without a doubt, I haven't seen one weak team in these two divisions. I'm like, oh, they won't have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, they're short games.
Yeah.
It fucks you in
yeah,
man.
you just got to get one or two, and then you kind of change your strategy a little bit.
Right.
We're not going to play as we're not going to go offensively, that hard.
Yeah.
We're trying to play more, possession, and
Right.
so it's definitely a different, dynamic
It is,
to how you
absolutely.
play the game, and
Right.
until you get. I think it's always 2 periods until the championship, isn't
Exactly.
it? So it's like you're
Right.
always kind of on your toes
Yeah.
every single game until you can get to that final game, hopefully, and then you get a full game to go. But I'm excited.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Yeah, I am too. So, a week from today plus 1 day, we are there. So, August 9th through 13th, the Premier City, Bettendorf, Iowa. Then we'll do D5 tomorrow. Then, man, Brian, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Almost good luck tonight. I appreciate it. Thank
It's
you.
8:25. I'm on my way, sellers.
Fuck, sorry, sellers. That's funny.